biggest thing we bring to a customer, I think, is choice.
Combined with that, Red Hat's earned the reputation of delivering a portfolio of products that are deliver great value in terms of performance, reliability, and carving out a lot of costs. So I think we've earned that reputation over the past 10 years, so customers expect that as we, for both Linux, but then as we enter new categories. And I think there's a lot of optics around open source in general now, where customers are increasingly demanding more open source solutions. A lot of awareness even in open source technologies, and they look to Red Hat as the leader to bringing them open source solutions to their enterprises.
In the past, they could customers could get open source, play with open source, but once we really crossed that chasm and got them to have the ability to have choice and at the same time superior performance and functionality, I think that's where it all kicked in, and that was really the sweet spot for a lot of them to have it all and be able to really solve real problems, real business problems. We're extending that horizontal reach, so certainly virtualization. You see virtualization in some sense as the next wave in the operating system space. I mean, it is the space that most closely touches the hardware. The management of that infrastructure. As an infrastructure scales horizontally and becomes more complex, the management of it is much more important. I mean, no longer, very few customers are out there running, one operating system combined between two pieces of sheet metal in one box. It's really an operating system that scales horizontally.
You're going to see a lot more in a shorter time frame than any of our competitors, and that's not a Red Hat story, that's an open source story. We've talked a lot about how the innovation rate in open source is at a much faster stride rate, and that's part and parcel with the internet and the collaboration technologies that developers use, and just the sheer scale of the size of the development team is orders of magnitude larger than any one company can house.
You're able to scale your hardware horizontally all the way up to scaling the applications horizontally. The other end of that equation on the application side is the middleware space. I mean, you see the SOA platform. The heart of the SOA platform is the enterprise service bus. Not in an analogy form, I mean, not unlike wanting to scale your hardware, but scaling your applications and having a bus that allows you to scale your applications across a very horizontal architecture. That's the other end of really where we play. We are solving customers' problems both from the hardware perspective all the way up through the application, and so we're starting at both ends and filling in the middle to solve some of these real-world problems.